Okay, we want to talk today about hidden hazards of horns on goats. Why we disbud. We got little babies and they're going to be disbudded day 5, possibly a little sooner. So we had a doe with full horns before, and she was coming up under pregnant does with those horns and up underneath of their stomach, and for all intents and purposes trying to eviscerate them. Okay, and that can happen. So it's a danger to them. It's a danger to themselves because they can get caught in fencing. And they put their heads under things, and then with the horns, it's impossible to get it out. And goats with horns can get caught in fencing and die there. It's a hazard because of what they can do to your fencing. Dig this gate here. Okay, this is between two does. This gate was straight before, but Aria has been ramming it and they wouldn't ram like that without horns. And so she's damaged the gate and bent the wire. Same on his gate. That's Leonardo. And on they have more oomph with horns. What he's doing is he's ramming the gate as hard as he can multiple times, and he was busting it open. So we had a carabiner because he was picking the lock with his lips. That's fine. That's goats do that smooth. We added a second latch on the bottom, and he was still able, with a carabiner in both, to ram it repeatedly and get the gate open. A goat without horns would not have done that. So my dad actually installed a stop here against this bar, so he can't do that no more. The gate won't open toward the outside. Hazards with horns on goats are hazards toward you and other animals. If a hornless goat butts your dog, for instance, now the dog obviously isn't living in there with them in most cases, unless it's a livestock guardian dog. It shouldn't have free access unless it is a livestock guardian dog. But it could really, really hurt your dog, and they can really, really hurt you on purpose or on accident. What we've found with horned goats, Aria, you going around, or Violet, you going round and round, is when you grab a hold of them, we don't keep collars on the goat because it can get in trouble with it really easy. So we go to grab them and restrain them. Violet, I can't even grab her. And they'll tip their, it's the camera shy, they'll tip their head backward and try to get you with the horns. Not just like they're running at you, ramming you, trying to get you with the horns, but they'll just tip their head backward and kind of swipe to try to get you to let go. And also, when I go to even just put her grain down, I don't have any grain here. Come here, Violet. She had already had her grain. Come here, Violet. Come here. Come here, Violet. When I go to put her dish down, she comes over. Come on, Violet. And when I go to pick her dish up, my eye is real close to her horns, okay? And so I'm having to kind of brace myself because they lift their head quickly and they've got you in the eye. Multiple times they've swept past, hit me with the horns, pinned me with the horns. I've had my arm between the horns when they suddenly thrust backward. Every single move you make in a goat pen with goats with horns, you have to think about how they can accidentally get you with those horns. And of course, with something like this, on the handle on this bucket, she can get that around her horns, which I didn't actually realize I had left the handle on there, so I'm going to have to remove that. So the hidden hazards with horns are many and varied. Also, they'll take their horns and hook them. I was watching Leonardo do this. Standing up, hooking it backward on a board and prying, like a pry bar. And he can damage the fencing. He can hurt himself. So for us, it's just not worth it. Little bub. Day 4 on him, day 5 on her. Sometimes you can wait longer on a female. Disbud and disbud early, because the problem is horned goats don't typically stay in their homes long term. Most times if you see free goats, they are horned goats and they get passed around from home to home to home. Goats do sometimes anyway, just because that's just what happens with goats. But horned goats particularly get passed around. And the horns are a lot of the time why. Because goats do some mischievous things. Those of us who keep goats know that they do, and it's kind of funny and whatever, but when it involves horns, it can be actually dangerous to them, other animals, and to you. Anything to add, sister? She says that's good. Okay, so that's why we disbud. That's why we're covering horns as a hazard with goats, and why we recommend to every goat owner who's breeding to disbud and disbud early, before the 10 days, and really before the week if you can. And make sure that you do a good job of it, but disbud, because it will make that goat have a longer, happier life, and less likely to get passed around, and less trouble to get into, and safer for everyone.